Hey guys, what is up? It is Omega SMG coming at you with a new video. This one is on LFO. So as you can see, I have Serum pulled up. I have Serum pulled up because it is the most visual synth around, at least in my opinion. So I'm going to be able to show this very easily. So let's go ahead and set this to LFO1. This is the source of modulation. So what an LFO does basically is it acts as automation that you don't have to put into the playlist. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this to bar mode just so that you're able to see it. Yeah. So now we just drag the LFO meter onto the level, and I'm just gonna undo this, and I'm gonna make it so that there's a much bigger range. Yeah, that's what it does. It's really basic. It doesn't need to be complex, but yeah, but so you can have this set so that it'll be in multiple shapes. So and you can have it set to do multiple things. So I'm gonna go ahead and find. I'll open up GMS because I probably have an example of it. Okay, my Drake Moog style bass. So I'm surprised that I don't have an LFO on it yet, but uh, same setup as last time. This is tried and tested. It is the way I make out everything at the beginning of it because it just sounds so good to me. So turn that up to 2. That works the best, at least in my opinion. So GMS is less visual, but you'll be able to hear it. So so have it so that it is sine wave right now. And I'm going to set it to frequency. What frequency will do is it'll make it so that it changes the frequency along with the LFO. So it has a more analog sound. It's something I do with many of my sounds. Not when it comes to trap, but I'll have a really, really low LFO. Like, yeah. That's exaggerated. Normally, I'll have it to like 10% maximum. So it doesn't do that much, but it just slowly changes. Let's see. This maybe? No, I don't have an LFO on this sound. That's weird. Yeah, this has an LFO. It's really slow, but I have it, so. I'll go ahead and draw out a chord progression with this. So, okay, yeah. I'm just trying to make it so that this is more visual so that I can explain uses for it, because I can tell you what an LFO is all day, but if you do not know how to properly use an LFO, then it's pointless. So So three, 1, 2. That should be one higher. Okay, now we have a really dark sounding chord progression. Have that LFO on, so I'm gonna lower the rate so that it's more exaggerated. So it isn't very noticeable as of right now. However, if I were to turn up the amount, it would be very noticeable. So if you want to go for a more analog sound, kind of like that, this isn't exactly the most advanced sound. It's just a detuned sine, but it makes for a nice effect, especially when you just pull up the white noise along with it. It works really well. But anyways, yeah, if you just take an LFO that changes the frequency slowly, then it'll have a more analog sound. It won't sound like you're using GMS. It'll sound like you're using like a Virus TI or something like that. But it has to be really slow, and it also has to be really low amount. So let's think of something else that would make it useful. So this, I'm going to put an LFO on this sound. So one second, I'm going to build out a track with this. Just so that you guys have some context. So GMS again, GMS is like silent but better. If you want to see what I mean by that, you can go check out my videos about that in the card up there. But anyways, yeah. So wait, yeah, I'm not working on anything like that. So, oh yeah, duh, I'm not working different pattern. You don't want your Moog sounds to move too fast either. Like this style of sound, you want it to be really spread out. I'm gonna spread this one out on 4 bars because it makes it a lot darker. Take these 3, stretch it out like that. Drop this an octave. Oh, I'm a big dummy. I forgot to set it to Moog. So, yeah. So, got that. So, let's add some more automation to our Moog so that it sounds more interesting. So, I'm going to turn up the rate really high. I'm going to change it to 4:1 and amount really low. However, I'm going to have it so that it changes the filter this time. So what that means is instead of the cutoff for it being solid like this, it's going to go up and down and up and down. So that's another thing you can do like that, it just gives it a different vibe. So instead of it being it kind of moves when you have it set like that. And movement in songs, especially if you're going for a more Drake style track, is very important, as Drake uses a lot of moving filters. So got that. Let's think of another one. So got another use for an LFO. So we've already done that. Let's go ahead and go more in depth with LFOs. So let's keep on going. Dig deeper into the rabbit hole. Because unlike other people, unlike other YouTubers, I'm not only going to show you how you can do something, but I'm going to show you other applications for it. So constant effects. Oh, that is something that will work really well. So I'll go ahead and see what this looks like. So yeah, looks interesting to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this LFO on here. So Control A, Control B. Dang it, I hate it every time it does that. It is so annoying. I wish it would just copy over the right way, but I mean, I guess I'm not doing it the right way. No. Let's go ahead and make that static fit in the track better. So okay, so let's make this lower. Just gives it some more atmosphere. So let's just keep on going. I'm going to show you as many ways you can use an LFO as possible, because LFOs are so important when it comes to music. It adds so much to your music, because you don't have to draw an automation clip for everything you want to do. You can just use an LFO. So yeah, I'm just going to go for a sine one this time. I'm going to open up a preset, so we have a lead. I want a pluck sound. Wait, no, they already have automation on that. So okay, so frequency level. So this is something we can do. So I really should save that one sound as. I'm not even gonna do another sound. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take these top notes and just copy it into this instance. So lower it down an octave. let's add another LFO to this. This time I don't want it to be ultra loud, so um so okay, master tuning. This is something that we can do. So this is different from just changing the pitch of it, because with tuning it would be like going up here and changing this. So and that is much different from just changing the pitch. This is changing like the key it's actually in. Like the frequency that everything is set at. So I'm gonna have it so that this goes out over 2 bars, and I'm gonna have it do it by 4. Okay, now we need modulation for it, so that means that it'll change along with the LFO, but really slowly. As you can see, that flame is just slowly moving around, and that represents where the LFO is in the pitch. Well, those have a kind of nasty sound. It can, like, you get the point. You can do it on plenty of sounds. Now, this is something that is kind of fun to do. I'm going to keep it on LFO. Environment, no. Global effects. So, I'm going to make it so that I'm going to throw reverb on this sound, and I'm going to make it so that I have the LFO change it. So, like that. So, it has like a trippier sound. So, that reverb movement is something that you'd want to use in trip hop or something like that, not trap. But you could still use it in trap. You can do plenty of things with LFOs. I just showed you 5 ways on using LFOs, and I showed you how to use them too. So, just quick rerun. I'm going to have an annotation at the beginning of the video if you just want to run through on the uses after that. So, ways you can use LFOs in just GMS. You got your filter, modulation, frequency, and the level, which I'm pretty sure is how loud it is. Yeah, and then did that already. Then with this, you can use an LFO for how loud it is. I showed that. But now we have this, which I showed that you can use it for the plenty of things in the FX tab here. Tons of things. In fact, an example of using it for effects is in Kanye West's So Appalled. I'm 100% sure that he has an LFO on the distortion, because sometimes it's not distorted, sometimes that bell isn't distorted, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Either way, it's moving, and movement is important in trap. It is one of the biggest things. We see it in Drake songs all the time. We see it in Kanye's music. 2 of the biggest artists both do that, and one of the most important things in hip-hop, as we know, are the beats. So you have the choice on whether or not you want a really, really slow sound and like just ugly sound, or you can go for something really sick that can move. You want to get the people moving, because when people are dancing, they aren't standing still, they're getting into it. You want to have your song move with the people that are listening to it. So if you want a really, really, if you don't want a danceable song, don't have movement in your song. But if you want something that people are going to dance to, like they're going to bob their head in the car while they listen to it, you want to make sure that there's movement in it so that they're not listening to the same thing over and over again. Also, with LFOs, you are able to have the same pattern repeated multiple times, so because it makes it so that there's more variation in it, so there's less repetition. And repetition is bad. It's why you want movement in your song, so that it isn't repetitive. Now, with all these things being said, I really hope you guys took something away from this video. If you liked this video, please thumbs up, maybe give it a share. I'd, like small YouTuber, really love the support you guys are giving me. If you disliked it, you know what to do. You already know where the button is. And, I'm actually going to go ahead and say that I'm going to start taking suggestions now, because I've made videos on tons of things already in case I don't have videos prepared. So go into the comments and type up what you want help with, and I will give you help with it through my videos, or if you really need it, I can Skype you. So this has been Omega SMG, signing off.